Hey everyone, in part two here of our little Marvel adventure with Daredevil and Punisher, they've found the location of this facility that the Inhuman kids were being brought to, and now they're going to investigate. Things may not go as planned, but we'll see what happens.
I'll reach out and I'll go into his vest and I'll look for his cell phone or some sort of communication device.
Fair enough. There's actually no cell phone on this guy as you guys are sitting there in that back alleyway. This is the one that was drugged, right? Not the one whose chest got blown the hell up by a phos grenade?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is the guy on the landing.
Yeah, the guy's still alive. All right, so you kind of dig through that vest, that tech vest he's got on, and you don't find a cell phone. You don't find really anything in terms of communication. What you do manage to spot is that they have earpieces in where they can hear communications coming to and from, but they can't. They have nothing to transmit. So when they're in the field, they're silent. They don't set off any radio. They're not sending any radio transmissions out. They're quiet. They receive them, but they don't send them.
All right. I'll pull it out of his ear and I'll hand it over to Frank. We might need these. And I'll go over to the burnt guy, just shake my head, and I'll pull his out of his ear too. And I'll also kind of check him for a second for if he has any phone or any other sort of communications other than the earpiece.
Negative.
But I'll put his earpiece. I'll tuck it under so I can hear any communications because it'll be right under my suit.
Right. Fair enough. Yeah, you pull it out. It's still functional. You know, it's a little scarred, a little warm to the touch, but it seems to still be working. You tuck that underneath the collar of your uniform, without an issue. Without an issue.
I'll just kind of look back up at Frank where he's at by the guy. I'm feeling generous. I was going to give you a head start.
I have a van. You have to swing like a monkey. I'm put the earphone in or the earpiece in.
Okay.
And start walking down the stairs.
Okay. So Frank is heading back to the van, and
Yep.
Matt's taken to the rooftops.
Yep.
All right. So the address he gives you.
I was gonna. I am gonna do one thing on the way though. I'll stop at somewhere, somewhere discreet, hopefully, and I'm gonna use a 911 call and give him that address and let him know I saw some guy trying to break into a house, and then I'll just leave it off the hook.
Okay. Are you dumping the gun in like a post office box or something?
Not a post office box. Don't police stations have those bins where you can drop weapons off and shit?
Yeah.
Yep. And no cameras either.
Yeah.
They want people to drop guns off.
Right. So I'm literally going to do just that. I'm going to completely dismantle it for the most part and drop all the pieces, the bullets, and the clips in that box and close it. And then
Okay.
I'm going to bounce out right away.
So Frank is going to get here first. And what here is his warehouse, like I said, right outside, right in Brooklyn, right by one of the bridges. Let me get a good shot of this because it's not really showing up. This can I? No, because all right. So, anyways, we're gonna deal with this. Sorry, guys in chat. I'm trying to get that to kind of match up good, but basically, on the outside, it looks like a massive abandoned warehouse. You have parking down beneath it, and you would have the office stations and all that up above it. When you get there, for Frank, since he gets here first, the lights on the top level seem to be emitting a bit of, not the lights, but the windows have a little bit of light spilling out of them. The windows on that second story area there that you see where some are broken, those are all seem to be blacked out. So no light is escaping from that at all.
Yeah.
Now, when you drive by the van, you go past that light post there. You drive around the corner, kind of get just a very casual look at the place. First off, it being the middle of the end of the summer and things are cooling down, there's not going to be a lot of people walking around because you're in literally the industrial district. So there's not a lot of people just kind of wandering the streets at this time of night. People that are doing so are usually up to no good. Now, you don't actually see any as you're driving through. It's a clear night. There's not a lot of breeze coming through. There's not a lot of overt things that are really interfering with you looking around. You do, as you finish your circle and start coming back around the other side, you do manage to see there's a security checkpoint And along the inside there's actually a chain link fence that kind of goes around the perimeter of the building. And you see two guards wearing similar gear to what these guys that you disarmed were wearing. Obviously, they're not holding the machine guns. They're not having the bandoliers of grenades. They're just wearing like tack vests, very loose fitting clothing, and maybe a sidearm at most. They're working in pairs, and they are definitely just patrolling the outside perimeter. There's maybe two people at the main entrance by where you can see the gate would open up to allow vehicles in. And there's another pair that's just kind of walking the ground slowly. Looking inside, you do manage to see two similar vehicles to what you guys just ran into outside that alleyway, minus the gun turret. The turret seems to be like stashed into the top of the vehicle. And that's what Frank gets as he's doing his drive around. Now, Daredevil will show up a little bit later. You'll probably get up across the street on another building top. You can see Frank's van as he pulls it to the side and goes to park. Now, do you want to park like in the open on the street or like between buildings? How do you want to handle that, Chris?
No, I want to park just out of sight of the building. So I can exit the vehicle, get whatever I need to, and wait for Matt to show up.
Okay. This is weird.
What'd you break now?
I didn't break anything, but for some reason I'm not seeing you guys move in the broadcast area, but I can see you move in Observers tab. 1 second.
Oh, you're right. This looks like we're frozen.
There we go. Fixed it. Boom! Blink and done. Awesome. So, so you pull off to the side, waiting for Red to show up. Matt shows up. You can see where the van is parked at. Do you want to swing down by him right away, or do you want to go to the building without him?
I'm gonna head up to the building first.
Okay. Okay, so you're going straight up to the roof. So with the swing line, you can get up there. Timing it just right so you miss a patrol isn't that difficult because there's only two guys walking around, so it's easy. Once they are around one corner, you know you got probably like another minute and a half before they come around the other side, so you can just go up the side of the building. Now, what's disturbing here is as you make your way to the rooftop, there are no cameras anywhere.
Okay.
So,
well, as long as nobody else is up here, I'll see if I can actually notice anything like by the windows. It'd probably give me a better echolocation sense. It won't be through concrete; it'll be through glass.
Right.
And I'm trying to pick up heartbeats, people moving around, conversations happening, anything like that. Just kind of get a good sense of what's going on, at least on the top floor of this building.
So the first thing you notice is when you get up there is that there is no like second floor here. It's all one story. They've gutted the entire inside of the building because the way
it's a massive warehouse.
Right, because the way the sound waves are bouncing off the walls, it gives you a really good picture of what's going on inside. And it feels like they have at least a dozen or so canisters that you can hear and and likewise see like individuals like floating around in the tanks. It's some sort of like stasis tanks they have down there. At least a dozen to one side, spread out vertical from the floor. There are at least 9 or 10 different people working around different instrument panels. You can hear the typing as they work on computers or like the scratch of their pen as they're writing on notepads, walking by each individual tank. On top of that, you can hear the slight jingle of the grenade bandoliers as security guards are walking through. And there's at least, I'd say, probably a half a dozen of those walking in pairs again through this part of the facility. It's pretty big on the inside.
All right. I'll walk back over to the other edge of the roof, and I will swing down by Frank's vehicle.
Okay. So you land.
Kind of.
You land in the alleyway.
A window.
No.
Hello.
So
Think
there's probably about a dozen people in canisters. They're floating.
canisters.
Yeah, they're floating in something, some sort of liquid. And it's definitely heavily guarded. I don't remember normal security guards being outfitted with grenades before, but hey, there's first for everything.
Yeah, we just ran into a couple.
Yeah. So, but I'm not sure exactly what's going on. They're doing something in those tubes. I don't know if they're experimenting in some way. Either way, it's I can't imagine that's legal.
Ray, the buildings around this one, are they the same height?
Roughly, it's between 1 and 2 stories for the most part. This is technically a 3-story building, so it's a little higher than the rest.
Right. Shit. All right. Um, did I see a good side or corner of the building to attempt to climb up?
Yeah, there are some areas that would look like they'd be easier than others. It's just a matter of avoiding security, which isn't that big of a deal. And to be quite honest, within the murder van that you've got,
Right.
you definitely have some climbing gear and rappelling gear because that's not really, I mean, out of the realm of things that you do. You know what I mean? That can be kind of common.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Need your fucking rope, Charlie Bronson.
Yep. So you definitely have the means to get up there.
All right. I think that's definitely a way to go. I'm going to go ahead and grab like 3 more of the white phosphorus grenades. I'm going to take the silenced machine gun with as many clips as I was able to salvage.
Okay.
And the sniper rifle too, because I want to be able to see where tactically up there is going to be the best place to set up or breach.
Right. Definitely.
Obviously, I'm taking my K-bar. Don't go anywhere without that.
Always
And
need a knife.
Yep. All right. I guess I'll meet you on the roof.
Remember, Frank, no killing.
Sure.
And I'll jump and swing my way back up to the roof.
Yeah, Daredevil will make it up to the roof first. You're more used to the acrobatics of things. For Frank, when you make your way across the street, and there's the occasional truck like passing through in the distance. You know, obviously, even on a Saturday night, stuff still needs to be shipped. Logistics are still going. There's still going to be the occasional somebody that passes through this area. So you wait for one to pass by you. As the sound of it fades away, once it drives right by this building, you can see Red make it to the top of the warehouse. At that point, you make your way across, keeping low to the ground. You can see the guards talking as they're walking their circuit, the pair of them. You've come across the opposite side of where the entrance is for vehicles, so you have the structure between you and the other pair of guards. You wait for these guys to walk by. They pause for a minute, have a cigarette. You use that moment to kind of really quietly make your way over the chain link fence and get to the structure itself. By the time they've lit their cigarette and they're moving around the next corner, you're already a quarter of the way up the building.
All right.
You make it to the top without incident. Pull your rope up behind you, and you're on this rooftop with Red. You can actually see through these windows that are up here.
Okay.
And what you see...
Yeah, I want to take a look and see what it is that he was describing.
is essentially this. Let me zoom out here so we can get a good on the screen. I'll try to.
Nice map.
So it's a large warehouse just full of all kinds of crazy shit. I can't get a good angle for everybody who's watching, so I apologize for that. I'm going to try to sweep around it as much as I can so people can get a good look at this. So you see down here towards the southern part of the building, this is where you see a lot of the canisters, right?
Mm-hmm.
The people that are trapped. You got scientists working between. You've got a couple of guards that are walking in pairs as well. And you got also like storage of chemicals. These are all like stasis tanks. Stuff for the gases, a lot of stuff for other equipment. There's a lot of medical readout tables that are nearby, where some of these officers or some of these scientists are working at and stopping by to make notes. But this is basically what you're seeing down below.
All right.
Now, one thing that you can see that Matt could not, the scientists are wearing Oscorp lab coats.
I'll just mutter them under my breath. Fucking Oscorp.
Great. What would Oscorp be doing with this?
What does why does Oscorp have an interest in Inhumans?
As you
Ray,
guys,
I'm gonna pull out.
go ahead.
I'll pull out my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna call Foggy.
Okay. He'll be like, "Hey, what's going on, Matt?
Hey, Fog, I need you to do me a favor.
Don't you always?"
I'm gonna, yeah. I'll rattle off the address. I need you to look up any info about what is on the books of what's going on at this address.
One quick question before I do that: is this lawyer business or is this other business?
Other business.
Oh, okay. So you need that right now, right now.
As soon as you can.
All right. I'll see what we can do. I'll call Karen and see if we can double team this.
Thanks, Foggy.
Yep. As you get off the phone, both of you will hear those larger double doors towards the top of this map. Can't move to there. That's good. Hold on, there we go. Like right up in this area here. You'll hear them hiss open like they're large sliding metal doors. They just kind of like grind and slowly start to retreat into the walls beside them, and you'll see the Iron Patriot armor walk in.
Oh my god! Are you...
As the Iron Patriot walks in, and I'll pull him up for those who haven't seen that or missed that part of it. As the Iron Patriot walks in, you will also hear some of the scientists stop and just seem surprised. One of them goes, "Oh, Mr. Osborn, I didn't know you were arriving today." And you hear Osborn just kind of laugh and literally say, "This is my facility. I show up when I want to show up. Tell me you have results." This is the Iron Patriot armor for those that are not familiar with it.
I'll be basically relaying to Frank what the Iron Patriot's saying.
The scientist that walks up to him...
assuming he can't hear him, so...
no, you can hear him because Daredevil ears.
Right, that's why I'll be telling Frank what's being said.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, effectively, the scientist that's there goes, "Oh, we've got really good results for the next shipment that's going out." And they start walking towards the canisters that are down below. At that point, you will see another individual walk in wearing this black and red outfit. Looks similar to Captain America's. That would definitely be U.S. Patriots as he steps into the fore. Now, when Patriot steps in, let me see if I got a good shot of him here. I don't think I do. Let's use this one, actually. When Patriot steps in, some of the guards up front give him a very, like, hey, like a nod, like they're enthused to actually see him show up. Like, "Hey, how's it going, John?" And he stops and looks at one and just lifts a finger like he's pointing at him. "Don't ever call me that when I'm in the uniform. What's my name?" They're like, "Sorry, U.S. agent." He's like, "Damn right." And he starts walking up behind Osborn. Osborn seems annoyed by this because he stops mid-stride and turns back and looks and says, "What are you doing here, Walker?" He's like, "I was following you like I'm supposed to do. Make sure you don't get, fucked up by any hero that's out there." And you hear Osborn just kind of snort. He's like, "Whatever. Stand guard. I'm making sure this is fine for the next shipment out." And you see Patriot just kind of shrug, or not Patriot. You see the U.S. agent just kind of shrugged. He's like, "Yeah, whatever." And he goes and actually leans against one of the barrels up here in the corner, and just watches them go about their business. The Iron Patriot walks with the scientists. He gets a couple of scientists that come to either side of him, and they're walking through essentially their harvest of all these Inhuman, a mixture of kids and adults, as they're going through the entire place. Patriot's like, "Do we have DNA reads on everybody here?" I mean everybody. The scientists, "Yes, sir, we do. We got that all set." He's like, "Good. You didn't tinker with their genetic coding at all. You didn't mess with their biochemistry." They're like, "No, sir. We are under strict orders from you not to do that. We didn't touch that in any way." And you see Osborn just kind of nod and go, "You do understand that should you do this and interfere with these subjects, the Kree will be very unhappy." And the scientist goes, yes, sir, I understand entirely. That's why we're not doing it. However, we are doing a little bit of alteration. We are attempting to push them and see what the limits of the powers are and how they activate." To that, the Iron Patriot stops in his tracks, looks at the scientist dead in the eyes, and says, "What do you mean pushing?" The scientist kind of shrugs and kind of gives this helpless, like, shoulder, like, you mean, stress positions. We do like environmental exposure experiments, things like that. At that point, Osborn just kind of nods, says, "Okay, that's fine, as long as you're not actually altering them." He goes, "Oh, no, sir, no, sir, no, sir. We're not altering them at all." He's like, "Good. If you do, I'll leave you and Walker in a room for like an hour and see if you make it out alive." He's like, "Sir, I understand. I would never, ever." He's like, "Good. Then let's not talk about it. Give me the reports, send them over. I just want to make sure everything was on task here. I've got some reports that one of our teams isn't reporting back in." The scientist goes, "I don't, sir. They're on their own schedule. I don't get involved. That you know that." And Iron Patriot says, "I know that. That's why I'm here, looking into it, and I'm not having you do it. Stop being an idiot and do what I pay you to do." The scientist says, "Yes, sir, yes, sir." And you see the scientists that are around Osborn just kind of scatter back to the various things that they were doing before he walked in. At that point, the Iron Patriot turns around and starts walking back towards the exit. As he gets close enough to Walker, you see the U.S. agent's like, "So what's the deal? We have to crack any skulls?" Osborn stops and looks at him and says, "Of course we do. Somebody decided to interfere with the drop. We have to find out who it was." And they walk out the front doors together before they close.
Well, while they're doing that, it gives us plenty of time to
No,
break
it
those
doesn't.
people out.
They're gonna fly right over there and fly right the hell back.
Then I guess we better act quick.
Yep, I should have killed the other one so he couldn't tell them who we were.
No killing, Frank. I'm gonna reach down and I'll try and covertly unlock the latch to one of the windows and flip it up so we can get in.
Okay, go ahead and roll your covert for me.
Yeah, me and a buddy dice. This is definitely blind justice. My enhanced senses to make sure they're not paying attention to us.
Okay.
And I will use my enhanced reflexes to basically swing
So,
in.
are you spending a plot point to use 2 power?
No,
sets?
you know what? No, I'm not. I lied.
Okay.
I'll just use the covert D8 then.
Okay.
So there we go. So I'll definitely take the 15 and I'll use the 5. Well, doesn't matter, but the one of the other D8s.
Right. Well, you can't use the one that's a 1 because
Right,
it's a
but
1.
the one that's a 5 I can use.
Yes, you can. But I am taking the one that's a 1. So go ahead and
I figured
give yourself a plot point. I'm just stacking this stuff up.
Yeah, just stacking up PowerPoints too.
Yeah, the plot
I've
points.
only got 2 now.
Plot points
So,
are really a good resource to hold on to.
Yeah, but yeah, covert is the name of the game right now.
All right, so your grand total covert skill is a 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna see if any of the guards manage to spot you. So the paramilitary guard.
The D8.
Yep. Go ahead.
The D8 I'll use to obscure myself, so even if they see the windows open, they won't necessarily see where I'm at.
All right. So the guard is working with his buddy. so he gets a buddy dice. They are skilled in covert as well, so they know where to look for people trying to sneak in, for example. They are talking well with one another on the comms. They keep in good communication down here, at least in the warehouse. So there's a network communication that's going to assist them in making sure their scans are complete. They'll get another D6.
Are we hooked into that?
No, you are actually on the away team's comms. You're not actually at the on the site comms. So, just for revealing why that's the case, the vehicle you guys were in had a transmitter inside. That's how they contacted people, and then the feed came through to the earbuds that you're wearing that was helping coordinate their efforts outside the base. But they keep them on two different communication networks, so that way one can't get picked up and lead back to the other.
Makes sense.
We'll go ahead and roll this.
Oh, that's fucking close.
Oh boy. Oh, are you serious? That makes me sad. So I got a 13. They do not see you as you open up the the window here. You push it back over just a bit. You manage to find some like debris on the rooftop that you can use to prop it up so it doesn't just come crashing down. And you leave it open just enough that you and Frank can both get inside and shimmy down without getting spotted and without it causing so much noise that you're drawing attention. You guys can put your tokens where you want to come in at. You've got your initial stealth roll, you're golden, you're fine. You guys managed to slide on down.
I think coming in right there is our best bet.
I agree.
On the crates? Okay.
Yep.
Yep, because the two crates in front of us are shielding anybody from seeing us.
Just let me double check something here really quick.
Yep. Yeah. Check and see where Venom's at. During all this.
Right? Absolutely.
Hey, come on. You telling me that you don't think U.S. Agent can rock you?
And where the hell is Bullseye?
I'm thinking I could sense U.S. Agent. He ain't got a symbiote.
All right, awesome. All right, guys, we're good to go. So you guys, well, Frank rappels down onto these boxes, and Daredevil kind of slides down on the swing line from the baton. Now, as you make it to the top of the crates, these crates are, some of them are metal, some of them are like a heavy plastic. They're all from all over the country. So from the things that Frank has seen, when you look at these crates, these are all like, some of them are from the Department of Justice. Others are just from other laboratories around the area that you've seen as you've cruised through the industrial parks. For Daredevil, what you'll pick up immediately is the sterile smell of this entire lab. Like, this place is cleaned regularly. You can smell the chemicals still in the air. And when you touch down and like run your fingers across like the top of these crates, these are new. These were recently moved here. So all the equipment inside these crates has been relatively recently brought here, unpacked to make this sort of facility, within at least the last couple days. Like, this was done on short notice. You're noticing in the air, there's no smell of fear from anybody on staff. Like, they feel almost invulnerable being here. They're under the Oscorp banner. You just freaking saw Iron Patriot and the U.S. Agent walk in. So clearly that's feeding into their confidence that what we're doing is perfectly fine. Of course, it's horrifically illegal. And once you guys get down here, Castle can see, the individuals in these stasis, tubes. They're floating in like this green fluid that's kind of keeping them all like, subdued. They've got like masks on them that's, feeding them oxygen. Some of them have like obvious physical changes. Like, for example, one is incredibly muscular, but the body has like small scales across the flesh. All of them in some way look just slightly off from what you expect to see in a normal person. Pretty much signing them all as Inhumans. They're all in these bins. And on the little computer displays on them, as you see, scientists will walk by and tap something up, pull it up. They're all just given subject numbers. There are no names. These aren't individuals. These are test subjects. That's it. But they run the gauntlet in age. There's some kids here that are maybe like around 12, 13 years old. Some, teenagers and some older adults that are here as well. So clearly the powers have manifested at different ages and various times in their lives, but they've all been captured by Oscorp to be brought here for whatever purpose.
Can I hear
whatever deal they have with the Kree?
Right. Yeah, no shit. Can I hear where the power is being funneled to this place? Because I'm assuming those bins that are actually holding the people, the cylinders, are probably drawing a lot of power. Where does that power work its way to? Does it work its way to like a breaker box? Is there just a big transformer in this thing somewhere? What's power? Where is the power going to and coming from?
It's coming from below the grating here on the floor. Like all these grates on the floor over here, these are all covering up, different power junction and boxes. Those are all running. You can feel the hum get, well, it's strong and then it weakens up as it gets towards the center of the place. Now, from the outside, you were able to see like part of it, not all of it's open area underneath. So whatever generator it's got to be is either in that first floor, like small enclosed space, or beneath that underground.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'll relay that info to Frank. Like, if we cut the power to these, well, one, I don't know if the oxygen will stop pumping. So I don't want to kill these people, but we have to interrupt what's going on here. This can't keep happening.
Yeah, first we need to take out the guards.
All right. They travel in twos, which means we're gonna have to act in tandem. As they swing around and get near us, we'll have to snatch them and pull them back.
Okay.
Choke them out, knock them out, whatever. Then we'll just leave them back here, so that way, if other guards come looking for them, literally they're just continuously walking into the trap.
Chat would like to know where
good.
Carnage is.
Let's hope he's not fucking here.
Carnage was not an option. Otherwise,
we would be playing Venom and Carnage right now.
We'd be Venom and Carnage right now. So we'd be on the other team.
Yeah, I gotta have a little bit of like clarity here for everybody who's watching. I gave them the option playing heroes or bad guys, and they chose heroes, but they didn't know what the thing was. Like, if they were playing bad guys, they'd be on the new Avengers. They would be like one of the people you guys saw walk in, like alongside Iron Patriot, seeing to this stuff, and maybe trying to undermine, Osborn, because the hell with Osborn, right?
Right.
So
he's insane anyway.
Yeah, he's the guy's crazy anyways. Like working with aliens. Like, come on, what the fuck? There's better things to do with our time and more money to make. But so they chose heroes, and then they threw a monkey wrench into my program by choosing street level heroes, and I'm like, oh. We'll make it work, and it's been all right so far. I can't complain too much. All right, so that's where Carnage is. Carnage is not here, thankfully for them.
Thank God, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you guys are just gonna wait out the patrol?
Yeah, gonna have to. Are we able? Is there enough space, like right here between the wall and the boxes for us to be there, so like we could swing out?
No, you'll have to be on top of the boxes.
All right.
Because it's a clipping issue. Again, remember I was telling them about the map and how I didn't like that they're off-centered?
Right. Yep.
You can see that it's off-centered.
Yeah, right in the corner.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's all right. That's not on us. So the plan is, Ray, is I'm going to hop up here when they get close, right when they're turning up or turning back this way, whichever way they're going to turn when they're away from us.
Right.
I'm literally going to dangle my swing rope down around one of their necks and pull them up and over quick so they can't react. Okay. And I don't know what Frank's going to do with the other one. That's on him.
So you've been watching this patrol go back and forth, these guys here. Now, I know that chat hasn't been able to really see it, but these guys have been moving the whole time they've been talking. Back and forth. And like other scientists and people, I've been moving them as they've been making their plans so they can kind of get an idea that these guys are moving around. They're not stationary. Now, the lighting in this place is pretty straightforward. It's what you would expect. It's on the floor level, it's very bright. It's fluorescent lights coming in from the walls and some from the ceiling here. to keep this place well lit, because as a lab, it's not going to be halfway dark or concealed. They need the light to know what they're doing and to see all the details of the experiments that they're running. So it's very well lit. It's very well cleaned. Their cleaning ladies must get paid overtime. It's just ridiculous. But there's no sign of any sort of experimentation room that you have seen so far that the scientists referenced earlier. I want to make that
doesn't
known.
mean it's not below us.
Right. So there's that. I just want to make that known. So
Yep.
these guys get towards you. You can see they're walking just casually. They stop, and they actually stop. And this guy that's right here leans back against the crate that's roughly about shoulder height to him and lights up a cigarette. His partner's like, hey, there's no smoking in here. The guy looks over, like, what are they going to do? Shoot me? And his partner goes, I just might. And you see him like kind of go for his sidearm. And the guy's like, what? He goes, I'm fucking with you. Give me one. So he bums him a cigarette, and they just start smoking off here to the side. The scientists have kind of moved a little farther away. You can see they've been farther up north and farther to the east here, as these guys are just shooting the shit. The guy on the left hand, or from your perspective, watching here, the guy up the northern end is just like, yeah, and this gig pays ridiculously well. His partner's like, yeah, I know, it's putting my kid through college. And the guy's like, yeah, I'm glad I don't have kids, you fucking idiot. And he just keeps on smoking his cigarette. His partner's like, what is that supposed to mean? He goes, what it means. My money is my money. Your money is not your money. You know what I mean? And this is kind of the conversation they're having. They're just talking casual stuff. What do you guys do?
I'll just kind of nod at Frank, and I'll start kind of creeping until it looks like we're both ready to go. I'll kind of give the nod like now, and that's when I'll drop the line around the dude's neck and basically lasso his ass up top here.
All right.
And then back behind the boxes if possible.
So
depending on how bad he's struggling.
And I'm grabbing the guy's partner in a chokehold.
Okay. Just swing it behind, just rock, and pull them back. I will give you both that effect die that Jeff used earlier, which was a D8, I want to say.
It was.
Okay.
So you'll get the effect die from your stealth earlier, because you didn't set off any alarms. This is your first action since you set it up, so the asset of being incredibly stealthy and sneaky is coming into play here. So go ahead and do Daredevil first. Get your additional D8 right off the bat.
Yep. And then my D8 for Buddy. Then I'll add another D8 for Blind Justice.
Yep.
I will get a D6 for my swing line on my billy club.
Yep.
The 2 D6 you always start with. Let me see here. I guess we'll just go straight to would you prefer combat or covert? They're both the same die. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do it would probably be covert.
I think covert works better here because you are trying to drag them back quietly.
Right.
Like that's your entire goal here. I mean, they both apply, but I think that especially since, to be completely honest, Daredevil's more exposed in where he is, covert's much more applicable here than combat. So go ahead and add that in.
What I'm going to do is I am going to spend a plot point.
Okay.
And I'm going to use the grapple ability since I'm using my swing line from my billy club.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll activate the grapple ability, which basically I get to add a d6 and step up an effect die by +1 when inflicting a complication.
Nice. So that can be restrained.
So the complication, right? The complication is going to be restrained.
Okay, so anything he does is going to be penalized. You'll get an additional effect die on top of your dice roll because of that complication on him.
Right.
All right.
And that rounds out my roll.
Okay. See what you got. I'm hoping for ones, guys. I'm hoping for ones. I need Chad to come with me and hope for ones. All right, so that's a good roll.
We're definitely gonna keep the 15.
Right.
And then one of the D8 will be the effect die, but it gets stepped up to a D10.
Oh.
Because of the plot point I put.
Yeah.
For the grapple ability.
Very nice.
Gonna come in handy, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to mark that down. He's got a +1d10 effect die on him. So you pull this guy back up onto this with you. You've got him restrained with a swing line. You pull him back. You apply the complication successfully. And Frank?
Well, I'm doing doing a chokehold and pulling him in behind the. I'm pulling him back to here,
Right.
so up north can't see us. So we're buddies. So that's a D8.
Yep. You get your bonus D8 from the asset that Daredevil gave you guys earlier.
Right, bonus D8. Former Marine.
Yep.
This is taking down a patrol.
Yep.
Nothing from War and Crime because it's not durability, and I'm not using weapons.
Not even the K bar. I thought you just do an action film takedown. You know, grab him by the mouth and stab him in the chest and drag him back.
This will be an action takedown. Unfortunately, he doesn't want me to use a weapon,
Okay.
so I'm weaponless.
Fair enough.
None of the special effects apply because I'm not using a weapon.
This is true.
But combat does apply, so that's a D10.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely, either one can work. Combat or covert.
I think that's gonna do it for me.
Rolls hard.
Okay, let's see what you got. Not bad.
Right. Obviously, I'm gonna take the 11.
No ones.
And the D10 will be my complication die.
Okay.
He's going to be complicated because I'm snapping his neck. because it's habit.
God damn it, Frank, no killing. The first thing you do when I tell you to not
It's like telling a toddler, don't eat the cookies.
He's just go sleep. Let it happen. Let it happen. Go sleep.
Right.
So
he struggled. He twisted one way. I was going another. It was habit. Sorry.
So as you pull him back, you feel him struggle, obviously. And you kind of slide him back over the barrel that's on its side. And you get him back by the barrel with you. You kind of crouch down, and as you crouch down is when you get that real tight hold and just give him a little twist. For Daredevil, Matt hears the wet pop as this guy's neck decides it doesn't want to be joined to his spine anymore as he cracks it.
I go shit,
and you hear the underneath his breath like shit, almost like he didn't mean it.
Right.
But this
but
guy
I can't tell because my heartbeat doesn't change.
No, it doesn't, because that's just how cold-blooded he is.
And I can't do anything about it anyways. I'm already grappled with a different dude.
Yeah, that guy goes down. This guy is definitely caught up. We're gonna put this for ensnared because I like that little web thing on him.
Yep.
Let me give you guys little stealth ninja mask since you guys are being very quiet right now.
Nice.
Guys, Roll20 has some really fun little touches to it. All right, so Daredevil pulls his guy back. He's under that D10 restraint condition. He's really not able to get out of your grasp. So you just pull him back the rest of the way?
Yep, I'm gonna blood choke him, and then I'm gonna completely restrain him and remove his communications with his own zip ties.
Okay, so he'll be caught up and completely done back here then. Is Frank gonna hide the body or leave him on the crate right there?
Oh no, the body's gonna be hidden.
So back up here.
Yeah, I'm gonna remove his communication device as well, so that we're in so we can hear anything tactically that's going on. What weapons does he have?
These guys are carrying sidearms and submachine guns.
I'm looking in their cargo pockets.
There are no go night EpiPens.
Damn it. All right, fine.
They're not retrieval units. These are security.
Yep.
I'll just kind of look up and whisper, Frank, no killing.
I just kind of shrug. Muscle memory. Sorry.
You guys hear
come
through comms. You hear hey guys, you're thinking about hitting up Chili's after shift? Who wants to go? Yeah, I'll go. Hey, maybe I'll go. Man, I don't like chills. Why are we going somewhere nice? What do you mean nice? We get paid enough, don't we? Like, it's just, they start talking about where they want to go to get something to eat after shift as they're moving around.
Like they're working at a cell phone store or something.
Right.
Not walking around vats of people.
It's movie day.
Right.
Right. The boss isn't in, so whatever.
I'll kind of whisper, be like, "Hey, we need to get a doctor here so we can find out what exactly they're trying to do with these people."
I'll nod right across the room. You mean like that guy's control panel?
Which across the room do you speak? Ah, yep, he'd be perfect. We got to make our way over to that last pile there so we can utilize it for cover and see if we can go about this covertly.
All right, so you guys want to sneak over there?
Yeah, the idea
Yeah.
is, yeah, we're gonna try and sneak. Like, I'll come off of here from this general area and then kind of jump and tumble,
Okay.
hopefully silently, back behind there.
All right, go ahead and
Kind of
make.
utilizing that and that.
I got you. Go ahead and make me a covert roll.
Yep. So I got my buddy. This comes down to a man without fear. It's a bunch of a bunch of heavily armed dudes that would shoot the crap out of me.
Yeah, they would.
A
Give it
D8
half
for
a
my
chance.
enhanced reflexes
Okay.
to assist with the covert, and then covert. I think
Yeah.
we'll finish it off.
Oh, take a plot point.
Fuck. This is gonna bite us in the ass later, dude.
Hey, as long as
I'm-
it's D8 or no D10s, man.
Right. I'm gonna keep the 13, and I'll use a D8 for the complication. Will be obscurement
Okay.
from view.
Okay.
Because I'm behind, this box here, these barrels, and that shit.
What was your score again that you're taking? The 13?
13. Yep.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and roll for the doctor that's right there. He's not going to have that big
Yep.
of a roll. He's going to get the roll 2d6. I'm just roll him just general. And then he gets 1d8. So that's a total of a 6 and a 2. Anybody want to spend a plot point and get the opportunity activated? Basically, can get the d8 to save for whatever you want to do next turn.
No, just got the bigger pool.
Yes, I will.
Okay. So he does not notice you whatsoever. And it's time for Frank.
Right. We're on the buddy system.
You are.
Former Marine.
This is a stealth op.
Right. Covert is a D10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that covers it.
Okay.
Because I'm not using weapons.
Oh my god, doesn't it suck? Being human.
Oh, there's your D10.
I will take that D10.
No. Oh no.
Take a plot point.
Oh yeah.
But I think you got me because he only rolled a 7. So yeah, your highest are the 6 and the 13. So you could go ahead and move over wherever you want to be within that general area here.
All right. Yeah, I'll move right up in here. I need to be crouched behind this stuff.
Okay.
I'll just kind of look back at Red and be like, and kind of like nod over towards the dock.
So I'm going to use. This thing's actually getting a lot of use tonight. I'm going to use the swing line to try and lasso him and drag his ass back quickly. I'm going to use that extra D8 effect die that we were given to ensure the stealthiness of it.
Okay.
So let's see here. We got Blind Justice. I got my buddy. We're gonna use the swing line, so that's a D6.
Damn.
No, none of those really apply. And then I'll use my covert. So 3d6 and 3d8. Well, it's not bad. Could be good.
Yeah, let's see what you get. Bruh.
Oh no.
You got another plot point.
Let me see what I'm at so far. Yeah, I'll take that D8.
Fucking thought you would. Okay, so I'm gonna take the 11, obviously, and then I will use one of the two. I have two other D8s here that are both 5s. I'll use one of those for the opportunity.
Okay, so the effect die. So you'll put him as restrained. One of the 8s, and you drag him back. Flip. You catch him completely off guard. Like, he's a scientist. He's like, whatever. Choked and gets just yanked back across the area.
The fuck up. I'll just put my finger to my lips when I look at him and kind of make sure to kind of put a knee almost on his shoulders, since I'll have him on his back.
Right.
So he can't move. And I'll just quietly.
He clearly struggles. Like, he's reaching up to grab at the swing line that's around his throat. But as you kind of pin down one of his shoulders and like do the shush motion, he just kind of gets real quiet, stops moving.
I'm over Red's shoulders. Obviously, he's blind, can't see me, and I have the K bar up to my lips, like he has his finger up to his lips.
He gets really quiet. Like, this guy stops moving entirely.
I'll quietly. I'll just be like, "What is going on here? What do you need these people for?"
I just do data entry.
I don't care what you do. You're here and you see what's going on. What is happening?
We're collating data on the Inhumans before they get picked up and shipped out.
By who and to where?
Above my pay grade and no idea.
And Osborne is running this clearly, so I'll just kind of gesture over my shoulder to the fucking tanks.
You see the scientist kind of like, as you have him held down on his back with your knee on his shoulder, he looks at you and you can feel his gaze settle on you, and then he kind of shifts because you feel the turning of his head, and he looks over your shoulder at the Punisher. Then he looks back at the canisters as much as he can, anyways. You know,
right?
And he says, "Well, they're all criminals. Like, these are all Inhuman criminals."
Criminals? What did they do?
Something criminal? I don't have access to the records.
No, you have kids in there. They're not criminals. We stopped one of them from getting snatched tonight who didn't do anything.
I can't speak to what you think you saw, but I can tell you everyone in one of those canisters has a rap sheet and is being imprisoned lawfully. Osborne has the right to do that with superhuman criminals. Experimentation to find the limits of their power so we know how to better defend and protect people against them. And as you're talking with him, since your senses work so hyperactive all the time, he's telling what he believes is the truth. Yeah.
Right. What's the password to the computers? To your computer.
I can't lose my job.
I'll just kind of like run the blade across my cheek, like I'm thinking.
Iron Man rocks with an AW.
Oh no. All right. I'm gonna knock him out.
Okay. Just blip.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, he's a scientist. He's not like a trained combatant. So literally, as he's looking at you, he looks to your fist raised with a billy club, and you just clock, and he goes out cold.
Now I know the table that's over here.
Yep.
That's a table, so that's probably only a couple feet off the ground. Is this like a big computer that would obscure me if I were to stand back here?
Yes, it's a larger panel computer. For those who want to see what he's talking about, this stuff right here.
I'm gonna sort of nudge Red and like press into his hand 2 zip ties.
I'll
I brought some stuff for you.
Hey.
I'll
Chat
just
says
nod.
this scientist is drinking the Kool-Aid. He got
He
hired to do
is.
a job. He thinks he's doing something right. I mean,
Right.
let's
And I can't fault him.
well, I mean, it's a good point though. But let's scale it back, right? Remember at the beginning, I said Oscorp has a contract to do detention for superhuman criminals. So clearly, at least this one worker thinks that this is all part of that. This guy
Right.
was nowhere
But even
near
if
that
it
conversation that you heard as Daredevil when Iron Patriot was talking to the main scientist way up north in the facility. This guy
Right.
was just back here doing his job. So for him,
Right.
it is what it is.
Yeah, I was just
Absolutely.
following orders. I've heard it before.
Yes, you have.
I'll just kind of look back. All right, Frank, you're gonna have to log in at that computer over there. I won't be able to see
What?
what's on the screen.
What are you talking about?
I'll point over the computer right over here.
Okay.
See what you can dig up.
I
Throw
talk
his
to
lab
people who
coat
do
on.
that type of stuff. Don't you have somebody that'll do that for you?
Not here, not right now. Throw on his lab coat. At least make it
Yeah.
to where they'll pause.
That'll work. I'll go ahead and start taking his fucking lab coat off.
Okay, you pull it off. He's
What?
got this little like plastic ID with his picture on it, like that's just clipped to the collar.
You
Yeah.
might want to. I'll just look at him and be like, you might want to gag him somehow so if he wakes up, he doesn't scream.
The comment just came in. Good thing Daredevil has brought his seeing eye, Frank.
Right.
Right? Absolutely.
Speaking of Daredevil, your phone will buzz.
I'll pick it up. And be like, yeah.
It's Foggy. He's like, hey, I got some of that info that you're looking for.
All right.
The address of warehouse that you're talking about?
Yeah. What's it supposed to be?
It's a Roxxon Oil and some subsidiary like Emulsion Corp, which is like a subsidiary of Oscorp. They hold that place in a lease. However, it's under paperwork as being a detention facility run essentially under the authorization of Oscorp and their contract with the Department of Defense.
That's pretty much exactly what it is. But this isn't a detention center. That they're testing these people. They're pushing them to their limits. They're Inhumans.
Yeah, you mean
And they're working with
Matt. You've been in prison,
Yeah.
right? Like they make people work in prison. People have
No.
bad shit happen to them in prison.
Foggy. They're in vats. Like they're floating unconscious in vats.
I'm gonna lean closer and be like, send him a picture, and I'm gonna start walking.
All right.
Just
I'll reach up and I'll click.
Is Frank acting casual?
Frank is
Casual
acting Frank casual.
Frank is a casual male walking across the hall, right?
Yeah. That'll work.
That makes me laugh a lot. So you get over here, and from here you can see like there's not a lot going on with some of the doctors. Like a lot of them have moved, as we can see here, farther up north as the night has progressed. Where you guys have been in here. So when Frank gets down here, he's actually in a good position because not a lot of people are down there with him.
Okay.
So you either have incident. The control panel to your north is a very large readout of pretty much every single subject in here listed by number and letter designation. Their vitals that are on, but no other designators aside from that. It seems to be just a monitoring station right now. That's already logged in. The table, though, is in front of you, the green one, the vertical one there.
Right.
That has a lot more data, and that is right now, the screen is locked.
I'll look to where I enter the password.
Yeah, you can see. You just kind of touch screen it, tap on there, a little, a holographic keyboard pops up just over the surface. You can punch in the password there.
Oh. And peck it.
NPEC Iron Man rocks with an AW. Cool.
Right.
Password is accepted. And you see it pull up to a screen of all the various Inhumans that are here, their vital signs, known abilities, age range, general healthiness, hardness of body, any known medical conditions. There's a lot of medical jargon all over the place. It seems like this guy was entering in data of the last line of reports because you can see a clipboard is right on the edge of the table when he got snagged, and it's got most recent vital readings in there. So basically, what it looks like he was doing was just recording vitals, double checking them, and entering them as being like positively correlated within the system. He was doing bullshit like minor tier research stuff.
Okay.
The password is password.
Well, right. The password is God69.
Right.
The only medical knowledge that I possess is psychiatric. So, is there anything psych profile wise on these people?
No, because they haven't been really awake yet. At least not the ones up here.
Right, but so how are they? So I'm trying to figure out how they're testing their limits then, if they're not awake for it.
That would be a bit of a computer search. We can make a roll for that.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Because I kind of want to try and see if I can determine like how they're going about shit. Because if they're torturing these people, they all gotta go.
Okay. So let's build your dice pool. We've got your affiliation right now, which is gonna be Buddy.
Right.
We've got. Do we have an appropriate distinction?
I don't think obsessed vigilante is gonna do it.
Okay. So we'll skip distinction.
I don't see how any of the distinctions would apply.
That's a good point.
No, obsessed vigilante would kind of apply, especially if they are doing shisty shit here.
If they're torturing them, absolutely.
Well, that's what you're trying to find out. So,
right.
In that case, I guess it would apply because you're trying to find out if that is the case, so you can administer justice. At least your brand of it.
Absolutely. Well, it is justice.
Yep.
I'm just skipping the paperwork.
Now, you don't have computer, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. I do not have computer.
So it's literally going to be your affiliation, your distinction, and then 2d6.
Yep.
If you would like, you can spend a plot point to add an additional d6. Or, not at all. Up to you.
No, I think I'm gonna really press luck here.
Okay, so you blow one. This is gonna be a roll against a doom pool. I'm good on d8, so you can keep that. I'm only looking for the big guns now. So that's an 11. All right, you're gonna roll against a doom pool here.
Man, we're street heroes. Those are the big ones. The
D8s
are the big ones.
That's true.
So you run across.
I don't make it.
No, you don't. You run across a wall effectively. Actually, no. It's a tie. So here's what you end up getting, because I have a max of 12. You have a max of 12 as well. So what you end up getting is you skirt effectively a series of files that you can't touch, but they all seem to be a sub-level to this facility.
There's right. So we're effectively on the second floor.
Correct.
Then there's a ground floor, and then there's a sub-level.
Yes.
What can I find out about it?
This guy doesn't have access to that. It's all blocked off from him.
Fair enough.
Unless you want to try to push, but that can get you, revealed.
Yeah, I'm not tech savvy.
Okay.
So yeah. So casual Friday.
Walk casual. There you go.
Casual Friday.
Act natural.
Again. Okay, so there's a sub basement, sub floor beneath the ground. There really isn't anything in there other than like stats, like blood pressure taken every hour, heartbeat, oxygen level, really basic medical stuff.
So we need to figure out how to get below then.
I'll look at the fucking grates. Yeah. we either go through there or we go outside and hope we can breach the power room and it has an entrance going down further.
No, that's a good idea. Let's hit the grates. We're already here.
Yep, that's my thought.
At the very
You
least, it'll
gonna
get
you
us
gonna
underneath.
you gonna stash the dock, or you want me to?
No, I'll stash him. I'll grab him and literally right here, right in between this barrel and this thing right here. Yeah, I'm just literally gonna sit his ass in there like he's taking a nap.
Okay. So when you guys start working at these grates over here, you see that's just a lot of conduit work. There's not really a lot of room for you to sneak down in there, like at all. It's packed through with all the massive power requirements that are there for these facilities, and then like just junction boxes for the electrical insides and guts of this facility for the most part.
Well, shit. Now, utilizing basically my sonar, especially with all the buzzing going on
Mhm.
and whatnot, is there any looking at like the way the power travels in the ground? Is there any openings anywhere on this floor, at least in the general area, that it's dark, like it's open, something we could get in, and we might not be able to do it here, but maybe back here,
Not big enough for
or
a person.
here. Not big enough for a person.
No.
Shit. So we're either gonna have to go through the doors that Iron Patriot came out of, or we're gonna have to go up and out and then try and get back in.
More than likely, yeah.
All right. Then let's go up and out. See if we can do it quietly again.
Sounds good.
All right. So you guys head back up onto the roof. Making your way up there is not hard at all.
The other security guard's just not going to make it. His bonds were too tight or something. Yeah.
So the the difficulty is you guys climb up to the roof. You make your way up there. Everything's going great. At least as far as you're concerned. But then you run into a problem. A big problem.
Oh shit.
You run into security up top that was sent up here because somebody, aka their boss, told them that, hey, you really need to look into what's going down with this other crew, and we need to watch this place. Well, since they're doing that, they kind of got looped into it. The two of them. Yeah, Bullseye and US Agent on the rooftop. Like, literally, when you come up, they're walking around the roof. Like, this is... Agent Walker's like, this is bullshit. Why am I even here? Bullseye is just like, will you shut up and just concentrate? We've got an entire squad that hasn't reported back in yet. Agent's like, yeah, I know that, but they're dumbasses. What do you expect? From down below, actually, more appropriately, inside your earpiece that you guys stole, you hear, all right, guys, it's off shift. Time to shift on over. Let's go, man. Let's go have smokes. As you hear people down below start filtering out of the building, at least security guard wise. What do? They haven't seen you yet. You guys just get up to the edge of the windows that you left open, propped, and they're up there just talking amongst each other.
We either got to go through them or we got to go down and through the doctors.
Doesn't matter to me. Less collateral damage up here.
Yep. And that's exactly why I'll pull myself up and out.
Okay.
I'll roll up onto the roof as well.
All right, so both of you guys slide up onto the roof, and you see them like maybe 20, 30 feet away. In terms of map area here, there's not really a lot. It's just literally the rooftop of this building.
Right.
Not really much in terms of like cover and things like that. Like you obviously have that larger window over to the right hand side here that we can see, and these small little glass windows that you guys were able to see through and actually climb through one previously. So in terms of like obstructions here, there's not a lot to go off of. But since you guys
Mhm.
crawl up, you do get first go because they're not even aware of your presence yet. So our heroes here are in a very interesting spot. They're on this rooftop with US Agent and Bullseye, and they have at least a dozen or so Inhumans down below that know they have to rescue. Now, they also know that it's probably just a matter of time before Iron Patriot and maybe the other Avenger, Venom, shows up. We'll see if they actually make it before backup arrives.